All right, morning. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. Celebrating Hanukkah as well. And thank you for joining me on this special Christmas edition of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vays. We
All
have
right,
done
morning.
these
Merry
shows.
Christmas, everyone.
We've done these shows on Christmas quite often, and they're generally pretty fun. Sometimes we get more people, sometimes less. We will see today. We're kicking off the show with 100 live viewers, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to review a lot of stuff. I'm still hoping Willy Woo can join us from Hong Kong. It's getting a little late there. It is 11 p.m. there. Joe Saz will be joining us as well. I should probably send the link out to other traders in case they are around. And I'm going to do that now. Let me see here while people are joining. Live for the Christmas special. I'm not going to say the names because I don't want to get everybody's hopes up. Christmas special trading show in case you are free. All right. Now I'm going to copy this message. I'm going to shoot it off to a few other traders. Boom. There goes that. And I don't know if I have them on. I may have to hit up Twitter for some of these. All right. Okay. Shut that off to a few traders and we'll see what happens. As you guys know, there's not that many traders I even like having on this show. Very few. So we'll see. Okay. Let's go to the chart. Let's see what Bitcoin did. I woke up this morning and to a beautiful Christmas present, which was a new Bitcoin all-time high. I was watching it as it was above 24,500. And we're going to go to the chart and we're going to take a look at what happened overnight. The markets are closed today, so I will not have the opportunity to exit my GBTC nor get into more GBTC. We will wait until Monday. Here's the chart. My computer actually restarted, and therefore we have all these oscillators, which we are also going to take a look at. It appears we have pulled back a little bit, so let's go to the lowest level time frame first. We're going to take a look at the funding rate, and as you can see, the 1 hour funding rate did get a little bit out of control earlier today, and we are pulling back. The CMF is very good. The unbalanced volume is still pretty good. Big volume spike about 5 hours ago, and we did hit an hourly MRI top. Well, very, very recently. Let's go to the 10 minute. I did not even know Bitcoin fell this much. Last time I looked at it, it was above 24,000, like 4,500. And then I started setting up the show and getting my giant thing of tea and totally missed this drop. Let's go to the 10-minute chart and see what not happened. Oh, yeah, because it happened 20 minutes ago, and I totally missed it because I was setting up for the show. I thought we were still up here when the show, when I hit the live button. But here we are. Dropped about $400, $600. What was that candle? $573 fall 20 minutes ago on the hourly MRI top, like clockwork, which is why I'm a big fan of the MRI indicator, which remains still on sale at right here, MRI indicators, for those that are asking. It's still on sale for $500. It will be on sale through New Year's. It'll be on sale early January as well, so you can wait till January if you wanted to start your new year. But sometime before February, the price will either rise or it will go subscription. because I'm going to be offering other subscription services. It is time for me to start offering some subscriptions. Okay. What do we got? We got charts. Let's go back to charts. So dropped during this 10-minute on the hourly MRI top, and we are now creeping back up. We are back to 24, 192, which is still an all-time high, I believe, or maybe like 200 something was the all-time high prior to this morning. I'm still bullish here. I was bullish here. Willy Woo is bullish here. I read his newsletter and trying to get him on the show this morning for you guys in the US, evening time for those in Asia. Hopefully Europe is still with us. All right, daily chart. Daily chart is the key chart. Look at the funding rate. The funding rate is now spending over a week in an area favoring the bears, but it's not in critical territory. It's not even as high as it was this July, certainly not as high as it was early this year, and definitely not as high as it was at $14,000 back in June of last year. So there is still some room. We're about as high as we were low in September, October. I don't really need this line. And we can still have one more push. I would love to see one more moonshot towards the $30,000 region. And that would be my perfect short-term sell signal. Looking for that 20 to 30% correction down to the 20K area. Right now, I am still bullish. Let's look at the GBTC. I added the MRI indicator here, but I'm going to remove it because if I remove these zeros, I also remove my the whole reason for this chart is existence, which is the GBTC premium, which absolutely cratered. It's actually really disappointing. Like, I knew I should have exited at 40% with a much bigger piece, but I don't know. I didn't get around to it. I wasn't in front of the market when it was hitting the highs. You know, as a trader, you really need it. It's a full-time job. If you can't properly dedicate your time to being a trader, you're better off not being a trader. It really is challenging. Really, really is challenging. So I think this can shoot back up to above 40 if we are, you know, $25,000, $26,000 when it comes on when Monday comes, and I believe that is possible. Okay, let's go to back to the daily chart. Let's look at the, I don't need these lines anymore. Gotta clean these up. The RSI on a daily chart is back in the overbought territory, which tells you to just stay with your bullish trade for now. The MACD is at a beautiful area right there and is also telling you to just stay with the bullish trade. You don't know where it's going to turn. And the CMF is also fully bullish. So there's really not much here to scare you. We're looking at the daily chart. I drew this like mini triangle situation going on. We got the green star. I believe this green star will hold going into end of day. And this sets us up nicely for one more bounce. Now, there's two ways to look at the size of the bounce. One way to look at it is to take the move that we had, like an average move from the breakout area, which was a $4,000 move. And we extended forward from consolidation. That would be another $4,000 move, taking us to just above $28,000. That would be great. This is where I would certainly take the exit. And right now, we have just kicked off a brand new trend towards MRI. Now, this is not going to be a double consecutive MRI top. But this second MRI top, let's assume it takes place 7 days from now. Today is Friday. So if we go over to the weekly chart, this weekly candle is going to end soon. The next candle will be the 5th candle in the series. So we could get an MRI top daily as we're going into the 6th candle of the series, which still gives you a few more weeks of upside based on the weekly MRI counts. But I would consider that pretty close to comfort. I would also put that in we're going up a little too far, a little too fast range, because now you got to zoom out. Before we zoom out, let's look at the oscillators. The RSI is beautifully approaching 90, and no concern yet unless it starts to go down. So RSI is still bullish. MACD is certainly bullish. And the CMF is very bullish. There's really no oscillator concern from a weekly scale. The volume is not grossly elevated. This does not look like a blow off top. If we look at Google Trends, I'm sure they're not going to do anything crazy either. I'm going to do that actually. Google Trends. Let's pull that up. Let's stick that right here. Google Trends for buy Bitcoin. I think that one's my favorite, the buy Bitcoin Google Trend. And we're going to zoom out. Let's first zoom out 5 years. I think that's all we need is 5 years. And you can see how while Google Trends are fairly elevated, they're not even close to the 2017 levels. Now, this is global or America. This looks like America. Nevada is leading the charge. I guess the gamblers who can't get to a casino, which are still open, by the way. You can't dance in Vegas, but you can certainly gamble at a casino. You can't eat at a restaurant with more than 25% capacity. Nevada, Hawaii, the People's Republic of California, and New York and Washington. So 4 of the most democratic states we have in, well, Washington, D.C. or Washington State. I'm not sure. Let's assume Washington, D.C. So 4 of the most like liberal, most democratic states, plus Nevada, which is now full of Californians, which is also becoming a fully democratic state with their straight up communist governor. Let's look at the global stats. How do you do global stats? Okay, here we go. Global. Let's see what's going on. Worldwide, not much. Nigeria usually leads the charge. Ghana, Cameroon, St. Helena, which I'm actually not sure where that is, and that's rare. I thought my geography was pretty good, but I have no idea where St. Helena is. Where is that? That like an island off the coast of Africa? Because that looks like Africa. That looks like West Africa. Oh, I learn something new every day. And South Africa. Yeah, so Africa's leading the charge. Africa is certainly leading the charge. That's good. That's good because when America and the US dollar collapses, maybe the continent of Africa will lead the way, but it's a continent. It's hard. You need a country. You need a major country. And I don't think there is a country in Africa that can lead the way. But hey, if Nigeria, wouldn't that be ironic? Wouldn't that be ironic if the next 100 years, Nigeria is the superpower of the world with all those Nigerian prince scam emails that we used to get for throughout the entire 2000s, early 2000s? They can be. Look, if Nigeria buys up all the Bitcoin and the people in government become, Bitcoin supporters, take control of the government in Nigeria, Nigeria could be the Amsterdam prior to, it was Amsterdam, then London, then the UK. I mean, the country of UK, if you zoom in on a world map, the Netherlands and the United Kingdom, they're not much bigger in territory than Nigeria. Nigeria has a lot of people. There's really nothing stopping Nigeria from being in 10. You see, who knows what's going to happen in 10 years or 20 years? St. Helena is an island owned by the UK. Yeah, but where is it? Like, who's living there? St. Helena, part of the British overseas territories, also encompassing, the Changha Island, remote volcanic outpost in the South Atlantic Ocean. Yep, off the coast of Africa. Thank you, guys. If you think it's not possible for Nigeria to be what America has been the last 100 years, crazier things have happened. And let me introduce you to 2020. Okay. So yeah, if they buy up all the Bitcoin, who do you think the leader is going to be? Doesn't matter that China is mining them all. It's who's holding them. Who are the hodlers? Don't let Nigeria beat you. Jesus, come on. US, Europe, it's impressive. Yeah, that's a good question, free loving username. I kind of feel like buying Bitcoin is making the rich more rich. Like I am at the bottom of the pyramid. Pyramid. Anyone else feel that way? You shouldn't feel that way, because the majority of the people that hold Bitcoin are not governments. Look, some of them are bad people, but they're bad people without a badge to do bad things to you. I'm not scared of people. I'm not. I mean, when I'm in DC walking around with anything red like this shirt, I'm sure I can get stabbed by Antifa. But in general, I am more scared of the three-letter agency authorities than I am of people. I can defend myself against people. I can defend myself against bad people. But when those bad people have a badge, it is very difficult to defend yourself against bad people with a badge, with a badge. And the way you want to think about, like, well, I don't want to give more, I don't want to make the rich richer. Then stop buying from Amazon, because Jeff Bezos is very rich. And every time you buy from Amazon, you're making him richer. Don't use YouTube because YouTube is evil. And every time you use YouTube, you're making those rich people richer. Everything you do in your life that is making someone else richer. The question is, who do you want to be? Who do you want to get your money? For example, we can go back to the price of Bitcoin. For example, I was in the People's Republic of California for a day 2 days ago, and I spent all day driving and supporting small businesses that remained open against the wishes of their communist governor and mayor and city council and anyone else in politics over there. So that's where my money went. And I almost want to go back to the Communist Republic of California in order to support those businesses some more. And I was tipping generously to the waitresses that were working there and to the staff. So where do you want your money to go? I'm probably going to be going to some Latin American countries once the year rolls over to support those countries with my money. And then there are countries that I don't want to support with my money. Two of my favorite countries are Ukraine and Georgia. And me being Russian, I'm actually not happy with what the Russian government has done to the countries of Ukraine and Georgia in the last decade. They basically have kind of taken over their land. And I'm not happy about that. So I'm not exactly in a rush to go to Russia to support Russia with my tourist dollars. But I love going to Georgia and Ukraine to support their economy with my dollars. And you should feel no different about Bitcoin. You buying Bitcoin is probably helping yourself more than it's helping early Bitcoin adopters. Remember, Bitcoin is different. A person owning a lot of Bitcoin does not get to create more Bitcoin. This is not a proof of stake Ponzi scheme. This is not the future of Ethereum. This is not a proof of stake scam. One person having a lot of Bitcoin, as long as if that Bitcoin is rising, that person is incentivized to sell his Bitcoin and cash it in for stuff. So you're almost encouraging that person to use that Bitcoin with its appreciation. So you shouldn't look at it as the rich getting richer at all. Most were short. I don't know why people were short. I mean, I love the tone-based counter traders. I hope all the tone-based counter traders were short. I've been very bullish. I've been bullish this entire run. Sure, I've taken my profit, but I will not mention the word shorting Bitcoin for at least another year. From the moment we bottomed here, I became a bull. I will consider selling points. Like that to me was a selling point. And look at the beautiful breakout. And oh, I was supposed to tweet something out. Shit. Oh, maybe I can play. Maybe I can play it. I was going to tweet out a video from last Christmas. Shoot. I had somebody make it for me too. You know what? I'm going to play it. Let me see if I can do that. Let me see if I can download it and then play it. Let me see. How can I do this here? 1 second, guys. You know what? Maybe I can get Joe Saz on here. Willie's not coming. Let's get Joe Saz in here. I was going to get Joe Saz after Willie. Yeah, guys, we have a bunch of people. Holiday season. Feel free to throw in that super chat if you really want your question read. I'll make sure I read it. Hey, it's hard. Thanks for joining. Joe, take your time. Yeah, when Joe comes on and Joe talks what he thinks, I'm gonna look for that video and then I'm gonna get that going. Who else we got in the live chat? When are all my altcoins gonna moon? Well, probably never. Tone, can you please? Oh, okay, sorry. Brian, can you please ask Tone to check out if the last hour candle wick for BTC USD on Bitfinex is self-exchange market manipulation wick, trading against its own customers? Well, I wouldn't be able to know that. Oh, by the way, I don't know. I gotta keep a better eye on our like notification service, but I was chatting with a couple of friends last night and we took a look at Zoom stock. Oh man, would the MRI have called this one on the money? Look at Zoom. Zoom hits a weekly MRI top. Look at that beauty. Look at that. The weekly MRI top the week of October 20th alongside, that's the week of October 12th, sorry. So October 12th till October 17 is the week of October 12th. And then on October 21st, so the following week, so that's October 16, 19, so Wednesday of the following week, you get the daily MRI top. Then, and on the week of the MRI weekly top, you had extensions A and C both ending. And look at what Zoom stock did. Wow, that's bad. By the way, this is a nasty looking chart. And to me, this is very bearish. Like once Zoom breaks this support line, I can see this thing going back to the prior consolidation. So you take this blue line, I'm going to take it out and move it over. That becomes my Zoom target. But after that, they can go back up. I mean, Zoom has been one of the best performers this year. And look at how beautifully the MRI nailed the top. Now you can say, hey, your MRI didn't nail the prior top. No, but it did fairly well. It gave you consolidation, certainly got you out nicely. And on a weekly scale, there was a triple consecutive MRI that slowed us down. But look at the green star. Look at this green star. They got you back into the trade, but this one really got you out nicely. And then there was another stock. I think it was NIO, the other car company. Again, I'm doing Christmas Eve with my friends via Zoom instead of in person. It's so like frustrating. So another stock, because my friends are all trading now and they're hitting me up for advice. And then, and of course, none of my friends know how to use the MRI, and they're like sending me this stuff. It's like, hey, I just bought into this, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, please watch my video. I mean, I've known you for 20 years. I'm not going to charge you for it. It's free. Just freaking watch it. So here's another one. Beautiful MRI top on NIO just the other day. And on that's the weekly scale. Sorry, a month ago it hit it. And did the daily help you time that even better? It looks like it did not. So the daily must have just missed it right here. It might, like this candle kind of ruined it. Or actually this candle ruined it. Just missed the MRI daily. Okay, Alex, thank you for your generous super chat on this fine Christmas. What do you say to your mom when she tells you the price of Bitcoin is going up because banks are using the blockchain? No, my mom doesn't tell me that. My mom only says one thing. When are you selling your Bitcoin for real dollars? That's the only thing my mom says. My dad is a little more on the ball with this stuff. Tone, did you sell your silver? No, I did not. How's silver doing? How's gold doing? I haven't sold my silver yet. I'm going to, though. I'm absolutely going to. I forgot who I was with. I think it was in DC. We were talking to some guys. I was talking about like investing in the Bitcoin and stuff. And one of the guys is like, I only invest in precious metals. And I'm like, well, that's not bad, but Bitcoin might be better. He's like, oh, I meant lead. So if you know what that means, Joe knows what that means. Joe's on.
Yo, what's up, peeps? I was muted. I didn't want to. Yeah, anyways, what's up, Tone?
Oh, yeah, it's all good. Did you hear what I just said?
You know, I was spaced out for that one.
Okay,
one second.
No, I was in DC. Thanks for joining me, Joe, by the way. Nice background. I got your cigar lounge. I gotta head over there. I'll smoke a cigar, play a game of chess.
Oh yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Merry Christmas. Yeah, Happy Hanukkah. You know, all that.
Yep. Oh, speaking of chess, someone reached out to me who's a top 10
you told me
player in the world.
I think you told me in person.
Yeah, I'm telling the audience. We do have like 500 people watching. So, so one of the people that watches me is either a top 5 or a top 10 chess player in the world. And one day I'll get to hang out. I'm going to try and get him for Understanding Bitcoin conference in Malta. I want to do a chess tournament at that conference because we got players. There's players in the crypto space. Some of them were like significantly ranked. So it's going to be fun. I'll be bounced out in the first round. But it'll be going to be a 16 player chess tournament. We'll have, some Bitcoin on the line there. But no ringers though. Like you have to be like a Bitcoiner. But I would love to get this guy that's a top 10 chess player to come and hang out. No, so I was saying I was in DC having lunch with some guys. This was during the marches, the against Antifa marches and the Stop the Steal stuff. And I'm trying to explain Bitcoin to a couple of people at my table, and one of the guys is like, I only invest in precious metals. So then I start explaining why Bitcoin is better than gold and silver, and then he's like, oh, I meant lead.
Oh, what?
He's like, I meant lead.
So like bullets or
Yeah.
like lit? Okay.
Yeah. He's like, I only invest in precious metals, but then he had to clarify that he meant lead.
Yeah, I actually I've been investing in a lot of precious metals myself there, so I can't disagree with all the craziness we have in the world.
Right.
In
Okay.
fact, you got to come over and I'll donate you some precious metals at the shooting range.
Yeah. All right. Let me read these set of questions, and then I'll let you take a look at some charts because I want to look for something in my computer. Hey, Tone, when do you think Bitcoin will revisit the 200 moving average? I'm assuming you mean the weekly 200 moving average, though it could mean the daily. I mean, the daily is pretty far down as well. The daily is down at 13,000. I mean, it'll revisit it eventually, but it doesn't look like Bitcoin is slowing down right now. The 200-day moving average is all the way down at 8,000. Man, I mean, look, they're gonna get revisited. We're pushing some limits here. If you look, when we hit that high, we were $10,000. This was the high in June of last year. We were 260% above the 200-week moving average. What about now? Right now, as we're hitting this high, we are not 260% yet. We still have some room. 260% puts us at 28,000, which now 28,000 keeps coming up. And I want to go back. I want to go to the ultimate top. And I want to see how far above we were. This might be a little challenging. I want to see how far above we were. So here we are. So that was the high. And that's the touch. We were 1,500% above the 200-day moving average. That is quite a bit.
Oh, Tone, are you trying to be on screen share?
Oh, I'm not. Shit, my bad. I took off screen share for you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's what I'm measuring, guys. We were 200%, 1,500% above the 200-week moving average back in December. You can write this formula fairly easily. We were 260% in our mini bubble back last year in 2019. That's 260, 250, 260. And right now we're just above 200%. So we still have room based on the last two tops. Now you do want to go, you can't really go back further, but you can do this exercise on the daily scale as well. We could do the same thing. How far are we right now? And right now we hit 90% above the 200-day. I want to go back to June of last year to see if we were higher than 90. We probably were, because we were going up massively fast. We were, oh man, I can't see, about 150. About 150, 160. Yep, about 160. Right now we're 90. We were 160. And if we go to the ultimate all-time high, we're probably about 500 or more. No, only 275. Okay, so 275. But we have another one. We have other examples. These were not big pullbacks, but the one in 2013 was a big pullback. So we can go to that one and check that one out. I am on a log chart here. Slide that over.
Yo, Tony, did you buy the XRP dip? Psych.
Yeah, first thing I did last night.
Jeez.
God, I mean, those people must be so dumb.
You know,
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna let you rant about XRP for a minute. Let me just check this. I am curious. That is the all-time. That was the first all-time high, major all-time high, and I want to see what percentage we were. Okay, caught the top, and there's the bottom.
just so you know, you had a question, Tone, some paid shit.
Yep.
Amin threw in 5 to ask about the MRI after having purchasing the TI, and how much. Ooh, and then you got another one right at the top of the chat, from fucking this dude, with the name that I can't pronounce. How much of your money?
Oh, it's Guilherme. I had a someone that used to work with me on Wall Street. I actually hired him. He was a math PhD. His name was Guilherme. That's why I can pronounce it.
So how much of your money would you leave in Bitcoin if you were born and lived in Brazil?
A fair amount.
I almost feel like those things are just so unrelated that you just ask the question. You can ask the first part of it.
Yeah, it's really unrelated to what currency like you have. Like unless your currency is the Kuwaiti dinar, you're probably better off in Bitcoin. Yeah, Kuwaiti dinar is the strongest currency in the world. It's like $3 for one Kuwaiti dinar. Maybe it's way more now.
Huh. Well, Bitcoin's definitely been doing a good job against the dollar.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, where you live doesn't matter. I mean, Brazil's going to do better than the rest because I'm about to go to Brazil because you guys didn't do any stupid COVID shit. But yeah, hey, but that other question, hey, Tone, Merry Christmas. You have access to the TI. With the upgrade to MRI, I didn't get the new tutorials. You did, kind of. So in your email, in your MRI email, there is a link to a video playlist of learning how to trade the TI. And in that, if you go back to that email and you click on that playlist, at the top of that playlist, I added the latest MRI video. Also, if you have the TI, all you got to do is go into your indicator section, click on invite only scripts, and you will see your access with a green lock to the MRI. Everyone that had TI got access to the MRI. Eventually TI will be decommissioned eventually. So switch over to the MRI and you have an email with the link to the videos. Okay, Joe, I'm gonna glance at Bitcoin one more time and I hand you the mic here. I'm gonna stop my screen share. And go ahead, give us your view. Give us your rant on Ripple first, and then go over to your charts because I gotta look. I'm gonna mute myself.
Oh, you muted yourself already. All right, so Ripple. I was actually just talking about this. Ripple is basically been a scam from the beginning. I believe that XRP was just their Ponzi scheme to drive money into the company, which has been proven that the company would not have been functionable. It wouldn't have even been Ripple Labs would have been bankrupt had they not been selling pre-mined tokens. So they have some intellectual property. I think this is what it's all about. I know who they hired to represent them in this firm. I know that firm pulled John Carlo from the CFTC to the firm. And Tone, you might laugh at this. The firm representing Ripple Labs is Wilkie Farr and Gallagher. I'm sure you know that name. And John Carlo was over there. Yeah, you're muted.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm very familiar with Wilkie Law Firm.
Yep. So, yep, exactly. Me and so am I. So, I know I just knew a couple things that weren't in, that would happen to be public, and did some digging. So Ripple, I think it's more about the intellectual property. They're whining and complaining that they might, get a fine. It's going to hurt some bag holders. They don't give a shit. They give a shit about their intellectual property, which is probably going to live on for their, cross-border payment systems. And I think Ripple is going to be fine. They're going to be able to pay off their fine with their Ponzi scheme coin. And I think the shitcoin is going to go to zero. I mean, it's just going to go to shitcoin fucking graveyard. It's valueless. It has been a Ponzi scheme token this entire time. And the saddest part about it is, even of the people I've debated and Ripple peeps, a lot of them were even smart. It's just, and probably most of them are stupid, but some of these people were smart. And it's just that now I feel like we can get some of these smart motherfuckers to join us over here in Bitcoin. We can get them to dump their fucking shitcoin ideals and their whole shitcoinery, and get balling in Bitcoin. So this is, if there's one sign, like, of all the coins to go down, it's one of the top 5 that is now being smashed by a hammer. It's centralized. It had a corporation behind it. Ethereum has Vitalik Buterin. Litecoin is a little fuck coin anyways. Whatever else is a Tether, which happens to be in the top 5, is a fucking corporation as well. So, I mean, if you're a corporation and you're a cryptocurrency, this is also kind of saying, get ready for a hammer to be swung in your direction. But XRP is looking terrible. Just a quick look at, Tone, if you wouldn't mind, just enable screen sharing. Ripple did take a nasty full. It was just as good as it gets in terms of a full retrace. The only reason I've been watching this is for the carnage, and it got a full retrace all the way back down to the low 20-cent range, with support surprisingly off a setup trend line, but more importantly, not off of a moving average. Now we're kind of fighting between the long and intermediate term moving averages, but I'm really happy to see that we kind of broke what I believe would be some of the
wow.
more fun.
So it bounced perfectly off the MRI support line, huh?
Sure. Yeah.
Look at that.
I mean, yeah, the bodies are above it. So, I mean, I still think this is coming down. I mean, this of all the times in my entire life, and I'm Tone, you've been doing this a lot longer than I have, but for the past 3-4 years, I've used the word dead cat bounce a handful of times. This is the first time where I actually mean a dead cat bounce. This asset is dead. It's fucking dead, and it's bouncing just because there's a buying opportunity. Because traders, if you caught, let's say you caught somewhere near the top, we'll go 50% from the top, right there on that last little run down to, let's say the body closes 58% move. Does everything go straight to zero? Does anything go straight to zero? Some, yeah, all no. I think this is just literally a dead cat bounce. This should be valued at zero. I absolutely believe that this should be valued at zero. Now, this is just a dead cat bounce, and I'll be paying attention to the technicals, but I wouldn't be playing this. If anything, this is a great opportunity to short. If Ripple comes back up, I just think of all the things to do, it's if you're smart, it's going to be a shorting opportunity. They're definitely going down, and it's getting ugly for them. Now, Ripple rant, I think, is kind of over. Let's see here.
Joe, I don't think they I don't think the SEC will let them keep the token. I don't think they will let them keep the token. I mean, this case is serious. This isn't like some little fine that they send to EOS. I mean, they're bringing like serious action, and I think they're gonna force the liquidation of the token.
I mean, oh yeah, and the delisting on exchanges, especially American exchanges. Being that it's an American company in San Francisco, I can't imagine they can have tokens listed on Binance. I don't know how they're going to go out.
The question is, who's next? I think Binance token is in jeopardy here. I think they may go after the Binance token because, look, Binance creates a big problem. Binance started the whole, we're a utility/security token. Yeah. And Binance has created a lot of competition for potential future exchanges. And the SEC has got, if they win this case, everything is in jeopardy because they will use the precedent of the case.
I mean, and honestly, I don't give a fuck about that because you run a node, then do you really care if they ban Bitcoin? Do you really care if they try to do something, right? And to be honest, let's say, do we honestly? This is something I've been noticing. Okay, the narrative of Bitcoin has been shifting. Michael Saylor, Elon Musk joking about it, having fun, making money on it, institutional money getting in. There's no way governments are going to come in and say, hey, top Fortune 500 companies that are now considering Bitcoin reserves and such, we're going to completely annihilate your ability to do that. I really think Bitcoin is it's just off the leash and it's run wild. It's untraceable. It's fucking deep into the woods. You can't stop this. But I do think, and I agree with you, Tone, and I disagree with everyone else who's saying defend this precedent. Absolutely not. I don't care. I don't care if shitcoins, centralized shitcoins with founders end up getting fucked. I just don't care. In fact, that's what I've been expecting to happen, as I'm sure you've been expecting to happen, Tone, because you're the one that I learned shitcoinery from and Bitcoin maximalism from. So I'm not. I don't really care. Obviously, I'm not a statist. I do believe in free markets, but I don't believe in deception. And I believe that if someone is deceiving you, then you fucking and they deceive tons of poor people. Put a fu- I'll be calm. Put a bullet in their leg, maybe metaphorically speaking. Um, but that's the problem. I'm not a statist. It's not like I'm saying, hey, let's bring regulation to the space. I'm just saying, look, you deceive people, you deserve to be ostracized from a society that is normal people trying to do good things in their life. Now, if that's the case, there's a reason why sheriffs have existed for fucking centuries. It's because when there's one bad apple, you got to fucking take it out. Now we have thousands and we got to take them out. It's just going to happen. So, anyways,
You want to do Bitcoin? You want to do your screen
yeah,
share for Bitcoin real quick, and then I
so
have something special for people afterwards.
Bitcoin. All right, so Tone, order book analysis. Been a while. I know we haven't seen it for a while,
Yeah.
but it was very, very, very hard. I was trading. It wasn't hard, but it was there was a lot of shit going on. A lot of shit going on. We had gold mine signals flashing into pumps into short signals, which is really interesting to me. You usually don't want to deal with this kind of stuff, a short signal while a gold mine is active. But then we come back, we test the gold mine, find tradable signals and take them, and ride them into short signals. It's just been great, great times. Now, what happened last night, and over the course of the night for me, East Coast, we were just grinding up along these, and I got stopped out, fortunately, before things got out of hand. Now, we did get something even more significant, which was a ruby mine. This is at the top. And then when we pull back, we wick into the top of the freaking gold mine that's been pretty consistent for the past number of hours and still have yet more gold mine to continue, moving us possibly or probably in an upward direction. I it's this whole pocket of Bart Simpson retrace found support. It just leads me to think we're bullish. On top of that, we have a spot market aggregation and a perpetual market aggregation. Perpetuals include things like Deribit, Bybit, whatever, Binance perps. So we have a confluence of bid dominance in both markets. Spot markets aggregated agree that they are all bid dominant. And look at the book. Right now, the book is stacked solid with green. As opposed to, you can just clearly see that there isn't as much resistance up until the higher 24Ks, mid 24Ks. But point is, bids are starting to show up in numbers. We have a bid dominance in spot markets, a bid dominance in perp markets. That's a very, very like that combined with the gold mine. Like of all the things to be bullish about, that's probably it. If I was a swing trader, which I'm not. I trade. I'm just not good at swings. I hate them. I'm better at just picking apart channels. Um, but if I had to pick a trend bias at this point, it's going to be long, probably up through that 2,500 range. There's a lot of walls there, but they're all dynamic being as we just broke them a number of hours, maybe an hour, a number of minutes ago. So that's kind of my Bitcoin scoop on the small time frames. I'm seeing a move up. Both two-band confluence, very strong. Gold mine with the ruby mine lit up at the top, very strong. Support at the gold mine, very strong. Sell signals that are dangerous signals. So let's look at something like a less sensitive trade. There are no short signals on my on SAS2. So all we have is gold mine and two-band confluence. I mean, this thing is going. I believe this is going up. I don't take swings. I really, maybe I should take a 1x, but normally I like to have skin in the game when I say something, so I might just put in a 1x position. Maybe this pullback was your blessing in disguise. So yeah, that's what I got going on. I would take the swing long. I probably will. I should put my money where my mouth is. Just haven't yet. But yeah, that's what I got going on, Tone. Just a nice little Bitcoin beauty going on there.
Yeah, it looks pretty bullish. I see a question about why isn't Tether a security? So I just want to go through it real quick. I really need to do a law show. I haven't done a law show in ages, and we have a lot of new followers here. So look, real quick, why is Tether in a bunch of, why is Ripple in a bunch of shit? And Tether is not really, well, not in the same pile of shit. So look, here's the Howey test, guys. That the zoom in didn't do anything. Okay. The Howey test is 4 parts. It's an investment of money in a common enterprise with an expectation of profit through the effort of others, okay, or promoters. So Ripple is a no-brainer. So someone is buying the Ripple token. When they buy the Ripple token, the money goes to the Ripple Labs Corporation. The people buying the Ripple token clearly have an expectation of profit. And the reason they have an expectation of profit is through the effort of Ripple Labs and the Ripple Corporation. Like, this doesn't get any more simple than that. It's the simplest, violation of the most basic security law, which is a security also known as an investment contract. Investment contract is what this is. If the thing that you're buying fits these things, it is an investment contract. And this is why, like, oh, wait, hold on. Let me go grab something.
All right, I'm going to comment on this while you're grabbing something. Through the effects of the promoter, think about all the fucking shit Ripple did to try to get you to buy their bags. MoneyGram, partnerships, this guy, that guy, this company, that company, Lagarde, IMF's Brad Garlinghouse sitting at the round table of fucking financial superpowers. It's all been a hoax, guys. It's all been a goal for them to make money, keep money, get a fine for their ridiculous Ponzi scheme they ran. They promoted through using press, through using all kinds of stories that just turned out to be such shit. MoneyGram is saying specifically, never used XRP. And I promise you, people, if we look back through history, people will be saying MoneyGram is using XRP. So it's almost like this is everyone's trying to.
Oh, Joe, MoneyGram just came out, so they never used XRP.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, back in the day, Ripple, all the fans were like, MoneyGram is using XRP. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were led to believe something that just absolutely wasn't true, or at least we believe based on what MoneyGram is saying. MoneyGram is saying we didn't do it. Every investor in XRP believed that was happening. So this is the promoter was being disgusting by trying to get you to buy his bags. Thank you, Tone, for that, my little rant.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna stop the screen share for a second. So that's the Howey test. So that's like, again, I'm not a lawyer, but this is just basic common sense. Now, when I was in Vegas, oh man, what did I just click? When I was in Vegas this past like all of last week, I stopped by my friend's shop. Like he has got like an arcade shop, and he's an old school. He had like a bunch of like old basketball cards and baseball cards. And back when I was a kid, I used to love basketball cards. I used to collect them. But he had a bunch of old ones. I wasn't around in the 80s. I wish I was. But anyway, I decided to buy a pack of 1988 Fleer. I think that's 88. 1989 Fleer. So I wish he had 88, but 1989. So this pack cost me, I don't know, I think $15 or something like that. It's just a 1989 pack. And in that pack, I ended up buying 4 of them, but the first one, I got this.
Michael Jordan? Oh, you fucking asshole. I was just going to say, oh my goodness.
So they literally happened last week. So this is mint, fresh corners, everything.
You got to get that graded, man. Send that to go get graded or something, dude.
Right. So it's not perfectly centered. So I'm not going to get a gem mint 10 on this. But anyway, so this card, like in its perfect condition, goes from between, I don't know, $100 all the way up to like $1,500 if it was, you know, perfectly centered, which it's, well, like the print isn't. Like if you look at it, like you can see it's a little bit off center. You see how the white part on one side is bigger than the white part on the left side?
Like, yeah, maybe like a slight, like
right, but you see, right, yeah. So that's what I mean. Like the red part is not squarely in the center.
Who knows? Maybe it's some random rare accidental.
Right, like the more perfect the card, the higher the. I mean, like every little thing counts. Anyway, so the point is, I mean, this was the big. I mean, I ended up like buying 3 more packs for the hell of it, and I have a Larry Bird, a Magic Johnson. It was actually pretty cool, but they're from 1989, and then some All-Stars, Hakeem, Barkley, and a Magic Johnson. The best card in this deck is actually not that Jordan. That Jordan is the second best card in that deck. The All-Star Jordan is actually the higher ranked card in that deck. Anyway, the point is, why isn't this Jordan card a security? Why doesn't this fit the Howey test? I clearly bought this pack for an expectation of profit. Like this is the card. This was the card that I wanted. I'm buying this pack, or Joe, you buy this card from me. You're buying this card. It's a collectible. You have an expectation of profit. The Michael Jordan card is going to go 1980s, mint condition, is going to go up in price. But now let's go back to the screenshot. Are you investing money in buying this card? Yes. But are you investing this money in a common enterprise? Well, obviously not. Now, when you bought this card from Fleer originally back in 1989, you can maybe make the claim that you are buying this card by investing your money in a common enterprise. But even at the time, like, do you really have an expectation of profit when you buy one of these decks?
I'm going to be honest. What I would buy, my profit is joy in looking at that. Like, I'm buying it on pure entertainment purpose.
Right. But the thing is, like, when these companies make these cards, they're not actively, they're buying. So the one that's hardest to fit is the last one. Like, when you buy these cards directly from the company, yes, you have an investment of money. Yes, you're potentially investing in the common enterprise of the company. You may have an expectation of profit, but through the effort of others is going to be very challenging, because it's not this company's job to make this card worth more money for you. They're making these as collectible for you to buy it, but they're not out there actively trying to make deals to make these cards more valuable. Okay, at least that's how I see it. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin. Well, when you buy Bitcoin, it is certainly an investment of dollars, but there is no common enterprise. And this is why Bitcoin is not a security. There is no common enterprise. Where does the money go when you buy a Bitcoin? It just goes to another person that sold it to you, or a miner that mined it. So there is no common enterprise when it comes to Bitcoin. The beauty of decentralization. Do you have an expectation of profit when you're buying Bitcoin? Well, sure, most people do. Is it through the effort of the promoter, or is it through the effort of the common enterprise? And the answer is no, because there is no common enterprise. There is no one specific promoter you can say is responsible for that. But when it comes, now let's talk about Tether. Is Tether an investment of dollars? Well, sure. When you go and buy Tether, you're investing your dollars and you're buying Tether. Is it a common enterprise? Well, sure, probably, because the Tether, Bitfinex and the Tether Corporation make the Tether. But do you have an expectation of profit when you buy Tether, Joe?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Exactly. There is no expectation of profit by buying Tether, because Tether is supposed to be linked one-to-one with the US dollar. It's a stable coin. So there is no expectation of profit. You're buying Tether in order to make your life easier in trading on unregulated shitcoin exchanges. But
yeah, like as much as I hate Tether, Tone is right. Tone is just 100% right here.
Right. And that expectation of profit needs to come through the effort of others. But if there's no expectation of profit, like the last one doesn't apply. And this is why Tether is not a security or an investment contract. Okay. Now, if you invested in Tether, the company, sure, that could have remnants of the Howey test, but Tether didn't. I don't think Tether took outside investment to build the company. But now, if you look at the list of shitcoins, what fits the Howey test? Ethereum, to me, it fits the Howey test. The Ethereum Corporation is who you bought the original Ethereum from. And the way, so here's the thing with Ethereum. So here's how Ethereum potentially weaseled out of the Howey test. Ethereum was potentially able to weasel out of the Howey test, besides the fact that there was some regulatory capture. But in that, when Ethereum launched originally and people bought those JSON files that were supposed to turn into Ethereum a year later, I have actually met a lot of people in my life that bought that Ethereum at launch without an expectation of profit. A lot of them. They just did it because, it seemed like a cool, at the time, you have to put yourself back in 2014 days. In 2013, 14 days, a lot of people were experimenting with these shit coins, not for the expectation of profit, but just for interesting science projects. Now, after Ethereum, and a lot of people didn't think Ethereum would even launch, including myself. So at the time, an argument could be made that most people did not buy into Ethereum for profit, but it was certainly an investment of money, and it was certainly into a common enterprise. But the original buying of Ethereum they can get away with this. Today, the SEC thinks Ethereum is sufficiently decentralized, and they think that there is no longer a common enterprise, which I think is wrong. So today, everyone is buying Ethereum for the expectation of profit. Well, maybe not today, but they certainly did in 2016, 2017, and 2018. And Ethereum is going to claim that they're just gas and no one should be buying Ethereum for expectation of profit, but they'd be lying. Now, in addition, a lot of this depends on what the people say. Like, for example, when the Ripple documents, where's my Twitter? When literally in the Ripple documents, you can read the Ripple documents, which blatantly state that the company will retain a portion of the Ripple in order to monetize its only assets sometime in the future. Said another way, we will engage in distribution strategies that we expect will result in stable or strengthening XRP exchange rate against other currencies. As demand for XRP grows, the value of XRP should appreciate. So when the company itself is telling you that the value of the XRP will rise, you're telling your people to get XRP for expectation of profit.
And their promoters are promoting. Yeah, dude,
Right.
this is beautiful.
Over time, if the Ripple protocol becomes widely adopted, demand for XRP may increase, leading to an increase in price. So when you have, people from the company blatantly telling you that you should buy it for an expectation of profit, you get nailed by the Howey test. So, so the smart ones say, well, we don't know what's going to happen. We're not, anyway. So now we're going to go back to this list and we can see what else fits the Howey test. Well, XRP clearly does. Litecoin's debatable. It depends on how much influence you think the Litecoin Foundation has. Cardano, I don't see that as debatable. I see that as a central, again, whoever runs Cardano, Charles Hoskinson and the organization, they're the common enterprise. So I believe Cardano fits. Binance Coin clearly fits. Polkadot fits. They all fit. Litecoin can get away with it. A Stellar can't. Stable coins can get away with it. There's no expectation of profit. EOS.
Bitcoin SV is 13. Was Bitcoin Cash up there somewhere?
Yeah, it's number 6. So this is an interesting one. So with the fork coins, if you're buying into Bitcoin Cash, this one can be debatable. You can certainly claim that there is a common enterprise. I mean, Bitcoin, I can make the argument in court that Bitcoin Cash is controlled by Roger Ver. Yeah. So that's the common enterprise. And you're buying into Bitcoin Cash because you feel the common enterprise controlled by Roger Ver would increase the value of Bitcoin Cash for your expectation of profit through his efforts and the efforts of Bitcoin.com. So Bitcoin Cash is debatable. Bitcoin SV is the same way. And now when we get to scams like Hex, for example, and this was the argument that we did. Oh, it's not even in the top 100, obviously. And also Ravencoin with Bruce Fenton, which is a proof of work coin. But so in Bruce Fenton's argument for Ravencoin, obviously there was he's claiming it doesn't fit any of these, but we made the argument that it did. To us, it didn't have to be an investment of money. An investment of value is good enough. So you don't have to invest dollars. You can invest hash power. Bruce Fenton went around the world convincing people that they should set their hash power to mine Ravencoin when it launches. That is a substitute for an investment of money because your electricity costs you money. Now, we made the argument that there is a common enterprise, and I like Bruce Fenton. He's a nice guy. We made the argument that there was a common enterprise in Ravencoin that created Ravencoin. People that were mining Ravencoin were doing it for an expectation of profit through the effort of the creators of Ravencoin, getting it listed on exchanges and other promotions to give them that profit. So it is very, very difficult to get around the Howey test. Very difficult. Bitcoin pulled it off, and that's almost it. Okay. Now let's go back to the charts. All right, 10-minute chart. And I like this right here. Yeah. So, boom, my green star. Let's go long. Ooh. Theoretically. I like this. So I am comfortable going long. We're going to do one of the tone-based mock trades where he loses money virtually.
On account, I would take the short here.
Joe is taking the short. I am taking the long. I would, because I like that breakout above the big green candle. I like the fact that we're breaking. Well, we didn't actually break it yet. I should have stayed a smidge patient. But my stop loss is probably going to be at the bottom of these candles. I'm going to go right there for my stop loss, just below 24,000. I'm going to put in a green line for a long trade. It will be a fun day trading competition when we finally make it to Bali for the next financial summit, Joe.
Yeah. Just so you know, my take profit is just about a couple inches above where you are, maybe just up into that green body candle.
Okay. So I got in at the break of the prior candle's high right there. That's my entry. And that is my stop loss. I have three stop loss choices. I have the bottom of the bodies, the bottom of the recent swing low, or the bottom of the daily swing low. I'm not going to count what happened, before morning New York time. And I'm going to be the most conservative with this trade because I'm not that confident in it. So I am setting my stop loss just below 24,000 right there. Okay. And let's see what happens.
Tone, that's actually using some order book stuff. Just below 24,000 would be assuming that you have a buy wall at 24,000 that's propped up. So putting a wall just on the other side of a $100 aggregation is something I always suggest. But, if you don't have that much room, then you put it at the top of a $50 aggregation or bottom, whatever.
Hey, we got some comments from the live chat. Thank you, Alex, for your generous pound donation. Always great to see you do what you do best, shitting on shitcoins. By the way, shitting on shitcoins, I'm gonna stop that. I think it's I think it's time to retire shitting on shitcoins. And one of my goals for 2021 is to start the Understanding Bitcoin podcast, where I will use my energy to educate about Bitcoin instead of educating against shitcoins.
We can do both. I mean, shitting on shitcoins is just so much fun, Tone.
It's hard to do both. I want to get the Lost Show back so much. I want to start traveling again before I end up like, I don't know, going literally mentally crazy.
Well, maybe we'll travel today for a cigar.
Yeah. All right. There's not much more to say on. Well, we can talk about the long-term picture. I'm going to have to write my article, my outlook for 2021. And my outlook for 2021 is very bullish. It's very bullish based on the shit political system that we have. And I am so frustrated with COVID, man. I don't retweet very often, but I retweeted Russell Okun this morning or last night. So hold on. Let me go back to my profile. Look at this. This is how terrible it is. Welcome to 1984. So 6 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see this?
I saw that.
So 6 months ago, what is herd immunity? I knew what herd immunity was. Herd immunity is a natural phenomenon. I'm surprised they even had vaccinations in this definition. Herd immunity is the indirect protection from an infectious disease that happens when a population is immune either through vaccination or immunity developed through previous infection. Herd immunity was generally referred to as natural immunity to a virus that has spread through a population. No vaccine needed. And they have changed this definition by November to remove all traces of the words naturally occurring. So the new definition of herd immunity could only happen through a vaccine. This is insane.
I mean, they're the gatekeepers of truth. They got people wearing masks in cars driving alone. I mean,
this is insane. Like, the hypocrisy is insane. Here's the World Health Organization that has actually said something correct for a change. This was in March when the pandemic started. If you do not have any respiratory symptoms such as fever, cough, or runny nose, you do not need to wear a medical mask. When used alone, masks can give you a false feeling of protection and can even be a source of infection when not used correctly. No one uses their goddamn masks correctly. And here's what they look like now. The same people that knew what they were talking about early on clearly have an agenda. It's insane.
It's COVID 1984, man. Never let a good crisis go to waste.
It's absolutely insane. And as of January 1st, actually, not January 1st. Well, actually, I'm going to go away for New Year's. I'm going to go party somewhere and enjoy the company of humans and not my television. But I'll be back January 3rd, guys. There's gonna be an epic stream here. Let me cut screen share for a sec. Right there, it's on my mug, courtesy of Satoshi Corner. January 3rd, Bitcoin's birthday. We're gonna do an epic stream. I'm debating whether it will be another 12-hour stream or a 24-hour stream. I'm so tempted to do a 24-hour stream because there's 24 hours in a day, and January 3rd is an important day. I don't know if I'm gonna pull that off, but I gotta start inviting everyone. Everyone I know, I gotta just invite them on this stream to come through. We're gonna start Saturday because that's Sunday in New Zealand, and we're gonna run it all the way through. It's midnight in Hawaii, maybe.
It's gonna be fun.
We'll see. It's not gonna be easy, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna have the biggest trouble. You'll have to be taking 15-minute power naps in between speeches here and there.
And then the big protest in Washington, January 6th. I bought my hotel room. I am leaning towards going there. It's hard to do. I mean, a lot of people are gonna come there. I mean, maybe I should try to do a carnivory dinner the night before. I don't know if restaurants will allow you to have 10 people. Maybe we'll do a. I mean, it won't. I mean, a lot of people are gonna go there for the 6th, especially if people know that I'm gonna be there for the 6th. So if we do a carnivory dinner and the restaurant limits us to like maybe 6 people to a table, how do I choose the 6 people? Might have to auction off seats. I have no idea what the. I mean, I don't want to pick favorites, and I don't want to just do a dinner with my friends. So this is the big dilemma, right, Joe? So when I travel to a conference, and the conference has, this is a dinner for only speakers. And I'm like, well, it's cool for me to be with other speakers, but I know these people. Like, I'd rather do dinner with my fans than other speakers. Not that I want to be disrespectful to other speakers, but like, I don't mind hanging out with people. I hang out with, strangers all the time. It's kind of what I like doing. So if a bunch of my friends are going to like DC on the 6th, but also a lot of people that watch this channel go to DC on the 6th, I might have to dish my friends and try to organize something. And then people give me shit for charging double the price of the meal for the dinner. But like, how else do you like filter? Like, so I don't know. We'll think of something. Don, thoughts on 28K Max Kaiser's prediction for year end? I like it. I'm bullish here. Oh, my trade's profitable, Joe.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It was profitable, not anymore.
Oh yeah.
I'm still bullish here. I need that green star to end the candle on a green star, and I think the candle just ended because I don't see a countdown clock, or maybe I removed it.
It's going to shift down. Candle's going to flip red. There's a little pull.
Yep. But I'm still on a green count. I would still get my green star if we go up, but now we'll need to cross the prior candle's high again.
It's a tight little fight.
Yeah, no, I like my trade. So people ask me, where do I take profit? Hopefully never. So we'll see.
I've decided to move my take profit up to halfway up the green candle.
So you're short right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have a very, your profit is here.
You're not on screen share.
Oh, my bad. So your profit is halfway through the candle. So I'm gonna my profit
my
profit lines are purple. So Joe took the short trade, and he'll take his profit at purple. I took the long trade. I don't have a take profit yet, but I have a stop loss at blue.
And I would take a long at blue probably. I would try to catch that little bit of action there, and then if it comes back down, I would definitely.
But Joe has a much shorter time horizon than me. Like, I'm taking this trade for the rest of the day, and Joe's only taking it for like an hour at most.
Oh man, I try to get in and out of the same candle if I can.
Okay, so make that 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's a funny one. This one's really just dancing. Just this is what I would call a fair fight. But I think we're kind of channeling after a move. There's always that bit of indecision, a little bit of a lack of liquidity, uncertainty, causes things to move up and down pretty
Hey,
frequently.
I need to Google something. Something happened in Nashville.
So someone said something there about a bombing in Austin, by the way, too. I saw in comments.
Austin too? What's going on? Are they not scaring us enough with COVID? They have to add bombs?
Yo, Doug, I mean, you gotta always keep something close to you these days. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I'm not surprised in a way. I bet you this is people. I bet you this is actual Americans that had enough of the fucking lockdowns. So get ready. Get ready.
I mean, real patriots are fucking getting out of bed. That's what
look. There's a lot of things I want to say that I can't say. One, I'm gonna get my social media banned, and two, I can get a knock on my door if I say what I'm really thinking. With these lockdowns, like historically, when politicians get to this kind of a when politicians get this tyrannical, historically over the last several thousands of years, their homes or castles get stormed by a pitch mob, mob with pitchforks, and you can imagine what happens to their heads. That has been the history of humans. And this is why, as a politician, what you're doing is dangerous. And then when it happens, you're going to blame the people and not yourself.
And they're going to send the army on the people. And then we're going to have a really dark times. Just to keep a sharp machete, keep something that fires bullets.
So let's see if there's any news on this. ABC 7 News, Nashville explosion. Oh, this is 37 minutes, not 2 hours.
Car bomb. All right.
More information here. An explosion shook the largely district downtown Nashville. Chris this morning. Okay, the FBI seeing the investigation. All right. FBI will be taking the lead. I don't think they know anything.
Dude, I bet you if anything, in months from now or weeks from now, they're going to start making it so that there's even more strict acts. They're using these. Bet you anything.
Look, I can certainly see people acting out against government. Absolutely, I can see it. I can see it. People get ready, because this shit is between the election and the lockdowns. This is about to start happening. I know, Joe, you're ready. I've seen your vault. I'm not.
Yeah. I did offer you a little possible home defense if needed, but
no, man. I don't technically have a home anymore. I'm a complete nomad now.
I got back into full mode, dog. I started fighting again. I started going, I got thousands more rounds and stuff. I mean, if you could see my knuckles.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna cut screen share. Are you fighting? Like, did you set up your own dojo, or you're going to a spot?
Yeah, let's say something like that. A little bare knuckle fun.
Go for it. Dude, you're not punching right, man. You're not supposed to like when you're only supposed to use these two knuckles when you punch. You're not. Those never hit anything. What the hell are you doing?
No, Wing Chun. In Wing Chun, you're trained to twist into your punch at the last second. So it's a little bit of a technique, but yeah, these are your strongest
I never learned Wing Chun, but I
used to heal faster though.
I used to do push-ups on my knuckles all the time, and when you do that, you're only supposed to use these two. Well, when I was
They make you actually use your weak ones because those are the most likely to break when I was doing it. So you have to strengthen those bone condition, your weakest bones.
Yeah, see, I learned the opposite. Like, you keep strengthening the strong ones, and you should only punch with the strong ones. The weak ones should never hit anything.
Yeah, it's I guess, you know, just different tactics, different martial arts. But yeah, I mean, you know, I have a very, very strong, you know, left two knuckles there, and the two that I lean down with if I'm jabbing or going straight through. Then those two are what land. When you're swinging on something with more of like a hook or whatever, you twist your wrist to try to capture as much of that jaw as you can.
All right, let's see what our audience says about punching techniques.
Oh, also wrestling. Been wrestling a lot too. That's 80% of fights end on the ground, so you need to have some sort of submission defense and some sort of submission. Tone your trade screen too, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I wish I stuck around with judo. When I was like 10, 11, I was taking judo. I got a couple of belts. But like everything else, I get bored after a few years, and I just like, I started playing sports. I started playing pretty much all the sports. Volleyball was my best.
Yeah, so yeah, it looks like your trade is actually cleaning up right now.
Oh, let me see. Go back to screen share.
Such a tight range. Wonder what's gonna happen here. So I should be thinking about a stop loss, or would my stop loss be?
Oh
actually,
yeah, there goes my trade.
Yeah, my stop loss is probably getting pretty close, probably around here, to be honest.
All right, Joe's taking the stop loss. I'm good. I need this candle to close. And then I need another candle going above that candle, and then I can set my stop loss into break even, and then I just sit back and count the cash. But not yet. I'm leaving my stop loss where it's at for now. I'm gonna wait for this candle to close. We have 1 minute to go.
It's starting to reverse already too. It's crazy. This is an emotional market right now on Christmas. Who's moving?
All right. Yep. The higher this candle closed, the better. Obviously, the more confident I am to just let the trade go.
I mean, you got gold mine support running this up too. I mean, yeah, this is why I don't really risk shorts too much on the way up. When I got gold mine, that's kind of a what I value most in a position. So a short would be low time frame. And you know, I'm a scalper. I take everything I can, lose some here and there, you know. But yeah, this is a weird time. I mean, for it, what do you think? Christmas, I mean, we do get some interesting action on holidays. Where do you think it comes from? I mean, does it even matter? I think it's crazy.
You know, right now people are getting together with families, and those that are Bitcoiners are probably showing their family how to buy from like Cash App and shit. All right, there it is. We got a new candle. That new candle made a new high. According to the tone-based rules, we now put a break-even stop loss. And now you don't really have to worry about losing money on this trade. I have a take profit. And if this trade makes it to an MRI top like this, I will take my profit. I'm ready to take this profit, either the candle before or the candle after, based on how high we are going. But for now, there's my entry. There's my stop loss. If we go above this candle's high, I will be raising that stop loss. I want to make sure I make more than a cup of coffee on this trade. By the way, right now, what I am teaching you guys is literally the on-demand video for risk and position management. This is what we do for 5 hours long, teaching risk and position management. I do recommend buying them both together for a discount, technical analysis and risk position management. That is this video and this video. for 500 instead of 700 if you buy them individually. These used to be a lot more. These were 5, and 750, and it's probably going to go back to that before February 1st. So you can still be able to get this discount throughout January, but after January, this thing is going back up in price. It's like one of these things, right, where I'm trying to push my income into the next tax year, but at the same time, I don't want to discourage people buying for Christmas. So it's this delicate thing where I'm extending the discount. But yeah, but if I tell people, hey, don't buy right now, buy next week, they're not gonna buy now, and they're gonna forget to buy next week or next month. So but yeah, so this is what I'm doing right now: risk and position management. And you find the trade that you like, you enter the trade. Once that trade has made you money, especially more money than you were initially risking, you set a break. I set a break-even stop loss. You guys can do whatever you like. And now you pray that it doesn't hit your stop loss, so that you actually walk away with some money. If the next candle goes above current candle, I will be setting the stop loss somewhere over there, which would give me some kind of profit on this trade. This would probably be with some leverage. This would not be a zero leverage trade because it's on a 10-minute time scale. On a short-term trade, on a short time frame trade, I don't mind putting leverage in because my initial risk was how much was my initial risk? My initial risk was $160. So even if I set that at say a 10x leverage, that is still only a $1,600 loss, 0.66%. Now a $1,600 loss on a 10-minute trade could be a lot of money for some people. So you wouldn't risk 10% leverage. For others, that's nothing. And you can go 20% leverage. So this would probably be some kind of leverage trade between 5x and 10x for me. But if you are starting out, you do this with no leverage at all. And at one point, you were making $150 in 10 minutes with no leverage. I'm still confident in this trade, but if it goes back to my blue line, I will exit and I would look for another trading opportunity.
Always another trade.
Yep. Tone, only on most exchanges, you'd need to go about $90 up to even cover the fees. If you break even like this, you lose $70. Is that really true?
Yeah, let's say you're trading on Bybit, that you would be accruing a 0.075% fee for market buying, and that would be a stop loss is a market buy or sell. So you're losing 0.075%. If you entered with the limit order, then you got a 0.025% rebate. So your margin would need to be 0.05% in order to cover the spread of breaking even, assuming no slippage.
Okay, 0.05%. So let's do that. So that means we're going to raise our stop loss to above 0.05%. Right?
Yep.
You can enter this with a limit order.
So even if you bought both ends, that would be at a 0.15%. would actually break you even. So either way, that's in the money, and you're at 0.11, you might just barely lose a couple nothings. Right. But
so we're gonna set the stop loss at 0.11% up. Right there. That's 0.11. There it is. And if we hit it, we hit it. And we hit it.
Rushed. And it looks like bulls are rolling over a bit more.
You know, we tried. We tried. We didn't
Yo, you
lose.
made your cup of coffee. You know, pay for things. That's all that matters is if you're trading. Don't lose money. You know, would you re-enter?
Not yet. I'd wait for a reset. I'd re-enter on the next green star. Like I would need a reset like this.
Got it.
Now we can go back up. Remember, this was a short-term trade. I mean, I still like the long here, but I'm not going to risk it. I like this long, but I'm not going to risk it. I would re-enter if we reset. But the problem now is I would really need it above these highs to re-enter. It's going to be very challenging for me to re-enter at a lower price unless we go lower. If we go like lower down to 23.6, I can re-enter down there. But it's very difficult for me to re-enter between this new high and this low. It's very challenging for me to re-enter unless we end up with an MRI buy somewhere in between those, and that is very, very unlikely. I could also drop to a different time frame.
Do you got anything crazy on the monthly?
I talked about the monthly yesterday.
Okay.
We can go back to the monthly.
Because that's one thing that I'm wondering. I'm really wondering.
So the monthly, man. So I know Willy Woo and Ugly Old Goat tweeted out the monthly charts, but I always have to correct people and inform them that there was an MRI top right here at the all-time high in 2013. And this is the one thing that I wish I could like manually fudge this chart. And this is why I always go back to the Mt. Gox chart. Like if I pull up Mt. Gox, on Mt. Gox, you will clearly see a double MRI top right there at the 2013 high, preceded by extension C and followed by extension C. So the MRI called the 2011 top and the 2013 top perfectly. Now, it also called an earlier version of the 2013 top, but this was a bull market. And in a bull market, Bitcoin always tends to do multiple consecutive MRI tops. So now that we know there was an MRI top at the all-time high in November 2013, now we go back to the monthly chart. This is the Heikin-Ashi version. And here is the top in 2011. There was nothing MRI before that because there's not enough data. This is that second consecutive MRI top. Now on Mt. Gox, there was a C and a C. Here we had a B and a C. Still good. So it's like 3 arrows in a row. Then there was a perfect MRI buy right here at the bottom. And this was the triple MRI top leading into the all-time high. Here we have a perfect MRI calling the low. And now we have our first of hopefully several MRI tops. I honestly believe, I don't think we'll get to 3 in a row. I really think if we're going to keep going higher, we'll probably top on the next MRI top somewhere around 100K. Now, Willy Woo is way more bullish than that. Now, if we can get a triple consecutive MRI on a monthly, that's a monster. Now we're talking $200,000 to $250,000 of Bitcoin over the next 2 years. So the next cycle is about to begin. Now, if we go to the regular candles, they're good, but not as good. We didn't have an MRI buy here, missed it by a candle. And we didn't have an MRI buy here, missed it by a candle. We had the warning MRI buy. So the Heikin-Ashi is just a little bit cleaner. And the monthly chart is right at the high. It's on an MRI top, but this can extend into the following month, guys. Keep in mind, like, look, we topped the month after an MRI top back in 2017 on the regular candle. And this was an MRI top on Mt. Gox. So keep that in mind. Oh, didn't mean to move that. But we're looking good. The question is, will we ever touch this trend line again? That will be interesting. I'll even lower it for you guys. I'll make it as least slopey as I can. That's the lowest slope I can give it. Will we hit that line? Because that means this month we would have to go to 47K. And I don't think that's happening in the next week. But that means next month we would have to go to $52,000. I think it's unlikely, but let's see what 2021 brings.
Let's see if Saylor and Elon Musk end up meeting up.
The monthly RSI being so high, does that mean anything? No. Or I think you meant weekly RSI. No. RSIs, unless they're trending down, mean nothing. Like, you're supposed to pay attention to the RSI here when it's breaking back into purple, which could have gotten you in trouble here back in 2013 early. Here is where you're supposed to pay attention to the RSI. Not up there. I mean, maybe down here on the big crash. As long as it's going up, there's plenty of room to go. There is lots of room between 80 and 100. Lots of room there. Same thing on the weekly scale. On a weekly scale, there is a lot of room between 88 and 100. You can drive a truck through that, you know. Like this whole time, all of this was still investable. So no, that's why I don't pay attention. I pay attention when it goes below this 70. Let's go back to our trade.
Yeah, it kind of wicked down into my territory, but I'm gonna say I got stopped out already.
Well, I got stopped out as well, but hopefully I didn't lose any money on my stop out. So here's an MRI top on a 5-minute scale, but it's a weird one. That's not a tradable one for me. Let's go back to the 10-minute scale. Yeah, see, I don't like the long anymore.
One thing though, Tone, the RSI I find to be more valuable on short time frames than I find to be valuable on long time frames. If you look at the RSI on like a 10 or whatever, it's way better.
I don't have the RSI here. I can drop the OBV. I don't need it. I can drop the volume. I don't need that either. I can add the RSI.
I'm telling you, it's 10 times better on short time frames than it is in my eyes, than it is on long time frames. But I'm a scalper, you know. But you see the overbought situation there. You see the dump clearly brought us to, you know, the bottom.
It'd be nice to. This is a 10-minute candles, and we have not had an RSI buy in a long time here. We may get an RSI buy. We had an RSI sell right there. See, that is an RSI sell signal. We have not had an RSI buy signal. We need to go into the red and then come out of the red, just like with the CMF. The CMF is in the red. The fund rate on a 10-minute scale is favoring the bears. So right now,
holy shit, 0.12%.
What?
Funding. Longs pay shorts 0.12.
It was, yeah. Definitely.
No, right now, I'm looking at it right now. On a certain website.
Well, not anymore. Now it dropped big time.
That's maybe on BitMEX, but I'm not seeing it. I'm looking at some test nets over here. I'm seeing 0.122 current. And I'm assuming BitMEX can't be that far off. I would actually question the indicator at that point, but I like the Neobutane stuff.
Should probably check my messages, see if anyone. It is Christmas. Everyone's messaging. Hey, I see some people purchasing the MRI as their Christmas gifts. Thank you, guys. I will get on that the moment the stream ends. Because I have to give manual permission. I like the look of this candle, but I'm not ready to buy into this yet. I took my shot for a big pop-up, but now I'm just going to hold tight.
You know, I still have a 2-band confluence up here, but they're very thin. The distance between perps, bids and asks on both perps and spot are less than 10. You know, they're very, very small values. 3.61 on spot, 8 point something on perp. I mean, it really is becoming an indecision point. I'm still going to respect the 2-band confluence of Goldmine as a swing, but yeah, I think we're kind of in this weird space. And not to mention, I'm sure you've been hearing tons about fear and greed indexes of all different shapes and sizes. We're definitely in the extreme greed, I believe, territory. So that has me interesting. That definitely has me interested in some stuff. The funding, you know, I don't really see any nasty contango or anything. So there's my fill if I would have if I wasn't stopped out. But damn, yeah, I need to today. I think I'm gonna be doing a trading day. I let Tara take the baby today, so
let's see how Mempool's doing. Mempool's not that bad. Mempool is not that bad. All right, man. I think we're gonna end the show. I'm actually kind of hungry, and no one else is joining. Unfortunately, I was in touch with Willy Woo like 5-6 hours ago. I thought he was gonna join, but I guess he got held up, and now it's really, really late where he is.
got it. Yeah. Yeah,
so
this is running up and down. Yeah, it's gonna be a good play day.
Oh, I was going to show something. Damn, I forgot. Crap. All right, guys, don't go anywhere yet. Hold on. Hold on. We're not wrapping it up yet.
Shit, I gotta get ready to trade. I'm taking these.
All right, I gotta show you guys one thing. Let me change my screen share. I'm gonna tweet this out right after I get off the stream. Where is it? Huh. That's weird. The window doesn't come up. That's strange. Very strange. All right, I guess I'll just show my desktop. And I hope you guys can get the volume. So this is a flash. This is last Christmas. This is on this day, last Christmas. Let's take a look and have a listen. How many live viewers do we have? All right, we got 900. Beautiful.
It's a little tricky on drawing this line. I prefer to use the best fit line. That is the tone-based rule on trend lines. What happens if we cross this line this week? We are above 10,000. Now, we do have to close above it and spend an entire candle above it as well. If we cross this line in September of next year, we're also above a Fibonacci line, and it's only at 8,400. But if it takes us until August to get there, that means we've either made a serious swing low or we've consolidated for almost a year. If we can get to above this downward sloping trend line, I will be a bull. Hopefully, I will be a bull earlier than crossing this trend line. But yeah, crossing this trend line is enough. At this point, I do not need the break of 14,000. I do not need the break of 12,000. Some people think it's way too late already to become a bull, but it's not. I do think that crossing this line that you see in the screen is enough to announce the next bull run is here. But once again, I think Bitcoin is going to struggle to cross this line. When do I think Bitcoin will cross this line? No earlier than the halving, and no later than March 2021, right? So somewhere between the 38% Fibonacci line, I don't think we're going to cross this line before this Fibonacci line, and I don't believe we're going to cross it after. So somewhere between 7,200 and 9,700, and sometime between March of next year and March of the following year. I think Bitcoin will struggle to break that line. And when it finally does, we have our next bull market. This line will be crossed later than sooner, but once it crosses, I'll be a bull hopefully no later than the cross of that line.
All right. So that was last year's Christmas show, Joe.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that trend line was a very significant trend line too.
And now if we go back to that, let's go to the daily chart. This is the daily chart. Let's pull up that trend line, which I might have deleted. That might have been a weekly scale, actually. No, it was a weekly scale. It was this. I was using the weekly chart, not the daily. And when we did the show last year, last Christmas, we were right here. December 16, right there, December 23rd. We were right there when we did that show. And I said, and that's when I drew this trend line for the first time. And I said, I would be a bull no later than the break of that trend line. And I gave it, I said, we're going to break that trend line between the halving, which took place in May, and early this year. And we broke it soon after the halving. I also said I would like to become a bull before breaking this line. And that's when you saw my tweets. I became a bull here at the crash. So I became a bull here the day after the crash. And I solidified that bull position with a break of the trend line. So that's what I said on this show 1 year ago.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay. So that was a cool flashback down memory lane. And there's something else I got to tweet out. Hold on. I had this made basically, and it because oh, where is it? Oh man, shoot! I can swear they sent it to me. Oh yeah, hold on. I'll go at the bottom. So it was one of my favorite scenes. There was a couple of great scenes from like Game of Thrones. This was one of my favorite scenes from Game of Thrones. And this has to do with what we talked about earlier, Joe. Oh, here it is. Let me just download this real quick. It's only 13 seconds. So I'm going to tweet this out as well because I had this like made. Let me see here. If I open it. This has to do with like the election. Right. Here's the audio.
Have you considered the best ruler might be someone who doesn't want to rule?
Audio is kind of low.
Treason.
It might have been my volume. I don't know. Oh, Tone, you're muted.
Shit, my bad. Hold on. Let me get this really close to the mic. I mean to tweet this out because I forgot in which context, but this is basically me saying like I can't really say what I think should happen in the US because I'll get banned and censored and potentially worse. So I'm going to do it with a clip.
Have you considered the best ruler might be someone who doesn't want to rule? We're discussing treason. Don't pretend you haven't thought about it.
Of course I've thought about it. Thoughts on treason.
You hear that, Joe?
Yeah.
Might be someone who doesn't.
Yeah, that kind of that goes into the Republic book number, I think 1, The Plato's Republic talks about the noble lie, and how philosopher kings should be the ones that rule, not in other words, the ones that don't want it but deserve it.
Right.
Which is kind of the paradox of being a self-servant. You have to serve yourself in order to serve other people, which isn't really serving other people.
All right. All right, guys. I know we still have 1,000 viewers. We can glance at some audience questions. Do I have any moderators still there? Bernoulli, you're with us.
Oh yeah, hey Tone, can you make me a moderator? I'm gonna say hey real quick.
Yeah, can you say something? Yeah, I went with a clean slate on moderators. I just kind of removed everyone, and then I brought a few people back.
Thanks.
I had like 1,000 moderators.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bernoulli, any good questions, man? Before we head out, I think Joe wants to go trade. Tone, finish your comments on Hex. Well, Hex is also in violation of security laws. Giveaways are also in violation of security laws.
Stock to flow.
Stock to flow. Well, Plan B is becoming more popular.
Diamond top on 4 hour. Not my pattern. I saw Jonas post it.
I mean, look, we all know Bitcoin has a stock to flow, and it's going to make the price of Bitcoin go up. I'm just not sure how it can be modeled over time. You know, the chart looks great. Here. I mean, he could be right. I mean, the color is just basically days from the halving. So it starts out as red, and then it goes orange, green, and then eventually blue as the day of halving comes. Next halving, April of 2024. And his expectation is Bitcoin 100,000. Willie is more bullish than that. So we can, go to 200,000 over the next year or so, come back down to 100,000. It'll probably happen. All signs point to that.
Oh, Snoopy McSnoopface, man. Good to see you. He used to come around a lot.
Hey, so any good questions, comments, Bernoulli? What do you got for me? How likely
can I ask you a couple, Tone?
1 second. I got two I got to read. Okay. How likely is it for Bitcoin to hit 30 to 35,000 and pull back to 20,000? It's actually pretty damn likely. Or 20,000 no longer needs to get retested. No, 20,000 definitely needs to get retested. Yeah. It doesn't have to retest it, but it would. I would like for it to be retested. It sets up a clean market.
It would be really strong.
Yeah, that's the stock to flow question. Okay. Oh, I wasn't on screen share when I was looking at Plan B stuff. That's okay. You guys all know what it is.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Any other questions? There's nothing more I can say. We can go back to the short-term chart. Yeah, see, now I'm more bearish than bullish. If I was to take on a short-term trade on a 10-minute chart, now I'd rather go short than long. Now I would go in the opposite direction. I would go short. Where's my red line? At the break of this line, which is almost there. Like the break of this line is a potential short trade for me. And now my stop loss. All right, so let's do it. So we go short right now. We pierce that line, puts me in a short trade. My initial stop loss is above the swing high, but I'm going to lower that very, very quickly. All I need is a new low close and a swing low. So now I'm in a short trade. That's my take profit. I'll take my profit at the MRI, but in order for us to get to the MRI, we're going to be here with you guys for like another hour. Not something I want to do. The funding rate is not really favoring the bears as much, but it is a 10-minute funding rate, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference. So here we are on a short trade. There's really different schools of thought on trading. Like I will sell the low.
Are you trying to be on screen share?
Oh, I'm not again. Fuck. Sorry, guys. That red line was my short trade. So clearly it's losing money. But there's two schools of thought. You know, you buy the lows or you sell the lows. I like to sell the lows and buy the highs. Sometimes I buy the low, but most of the time I play it safe and I sell the low and buy the high. Because right here, if I would have sold the low, would have been a very profitable trade very, very quickly. And here, if I bought the high, it would have been a profitable trade very, very quickly. I like breakouts and I like breakdowns. Now, only off consolidation, not off extreme. Like if we've just fallen, I'm not selling this low. I'm selling this one over here. I'm selling the consolidated low, not the extreme low. I'm buying the consolidated breakout high. I'm not buying the extreme high, even though this is not all that extreme. But ideally, that red star holds. There's nothing wrong with buying the high as long as it's going higher. Nothing wrong with that. If Bitcoin hits 150K by end of next year, what do you think would be the drop? Do you think it would still drop 80%? It depends. If Bitcoin goes to 150,000 next year without any 30% drops, then yes, an 80% correction is very likely. But if on our way to 150,000, Bitcoin makes multiple 30 and 50% corrections, then it doesn't have to drop 80%. It also depends how the 150K is made. If, let's say, over the next, let's say over the next 10 months, Bitcoin goes up to $100,000. But then in its final 2 months, Bitcoin goes from 100 to 150,000. Then an 80% correction is way more likely. So you also have to keep an eye on a blow off top. So you have to understand how to navigate the stars, and the stars are still in total beta. So if you go to the MRI settings, these are your star settings right here. So by default, they don't exist. By default, they look like this. And we're gonna give you more options here because I don't want the stars to be mandatory. The stars are not mandatory. The stars are my thing for my trading. And there are rules that are explained in the video that comes with the MRI on the stars. And the most basic of which, and there are some bugs here. They're not perfect because it was very difficult to code. So I need the trend change close condition to be greater than the first candle. And I need the extreme condition to be greater than the prior candle.
Taco liquor.
Now my red star has gone away now. And I'm actually going to lower my stop loss to limit my losses. I'm okay with 0.9%. $200 loss with no leverage. I would never leverage to the short side, by the way, not in a bull market, even on short-term time frames. Upside, I probably would, not the downside. So I have to send a couple of messages before I forget. So that's my stop loss, and I will just wait and stay patient on that stop loss. And let's see what happens. Profit take if we make it to an MRI bottom. Otherwise, just keep holding. Or keep lowering that stop loss to break even and then beyond. I would like to see this with me making money before I exit the stream. So let's see what happens here. I would love for it to go up.
I want to catch.
I really want Bitcoin to be above 26,000 when Monday's GBTC starts trading, because that monster can pop to like 35 bucks. Can have like a $10 gap on Monday if Bitcoin is above 26K. 26, 27, pushing 26, 27K. Dude, but it was cool how I got the Jordan card in the one pack that I bought.
Yo, that's like awesome because Michael Jordan was like one of the best. So, or I think he was the best. He's my generation's best when I was young. So
he's still the best. I mean, he's still the yeah, he's probably the best player of all time. Definitely no one's better than him has come since him.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. And basketball turned into fucking pussy ball in the middle of all that. So
yeah. I mean, you can debate a couple of players before Jordan, but
exactly.
not since Jordan.
Yeah, I agree with that. First XRP delisting is Bitstamp. I'm seeing nice from Stacks
Bitstamp listed. People are saying Coinbase did, but I'm getting mixed reports on that. I'm getting mixed reports on Coinbase delisting.
You know, I could tell you right now.
But there's two Coinbases, right? There is the scams they sell to retail, and then Coinbase Pro.
Let's see if I could pull up a Coinbase chart or anything over here. And
right. So here's a CoinDesk article. Coinbase and other big exchanges face a dilemma between a rock and a hard place. No, there's no dilemma. They'll list a fucking thing before you are liable. There's no dilemma here. There's no dilemma. I mean, the dilemma should have been putting Ripple on your platform to begin with. That should have been the dilemma.
So I'm still seeing an XRP USD pair on Pro.
Right, it's there on Pro, but what about Coinbase itself? Are they still scamming their retail clients with XRP?
Not sure.
Why did the mod time me out when I was just joking about being begging for Bitcoin? Because jokes don't come across very well in text messages.
Yeah, 100% agree there. So someone threw up a link to the Bitstamp status on Twitter.
In light of the SEC's recent filing alleging XRP is a security, we are going to halt XRP trading and deposits for all U.S. customers on January 8th, 2021. There you go. Bitstamp takes the lead. Good job, Bitstamp. Purge that scam. I should retweet that. Yes. Purge the XRP scam. Done. Well, Brian Armstrong loves Ripple and BitConnect more than he loves Bitcoin, so we'll see what happens there.
And he loves ETH. He was publicly an 80% ETH bag holder.
Tone, what's the difference between Coinbase and Coinbase Pro? So Coinbase, I've never used either, by the way. Coinbase is where you buy or sell your Bitcoin through Coinbase, kind of like you buy your Bitcoin through a PayPal or you buy your Bitcoin through Square. So Coinbase is just a way for you to buy it. They connect to your bank account and they take the money out of your bank account and then they put your shitcoin, usually a shitcoin because they hate Bitcoin. They have to sell Bitcoin because that's how they make money. But the last thing Brian Armstrong wants to do is sell you Bitcoin. He wishes Bitcoin never existed. He hates that fucker. So they hate Bitcoin there. They hate Bitcoin at Coinbase. They want nothing to do with it. They just want to sell you scams. So they'll sell them to you. They'll take the money out of your bank account, put them in their Coinbase wallet for you, but then they will give you the option to take it from their wallet into your own wallet, while of course reporting you to the government for doing so. Coinbase Pro is the exchange, and that's where you trade your Bitcoin or shitcoins with people like Joe and other traders. So that's the Coinbase Pro is the supply and demand price discovery, and Coinbase itself is just where you can buy it based on the price discovery of Coinbase Pro. Does that answer the question, Joe?
I'd say that's a good enough answer. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Coinbase Pro is like a custodial wallet where you can buy Bitcoin. Coinbase itself is the custodial wallet where you can buy Bitcoin at a pretty steep premium. And then Coinbase Pro is where you can, it's an exchange, it's an actual exchange. So, and I'm actually a huge opponent of Coinbase myself. I often say Coinbase is a knife in the back of Bitcoin, and Brian Armstrong is the one twisting the blade. Disgusting fucking people over there.
So, man, I don't know why I keep getting this question. So right now, what is the best altcoin to buy that will be Bitcoin-like 3 years from now? At this point, I'm leaning towards the Nigerian currency because they seem to be buying the most amount of Bitcoin in Nigeria. So I think the best alternative to Bitcoin is the Nigerian national currency. I think it's better than Ethereum, for example. How is the Nigerian currency doing? Let's see. By the way, earlier today, we took a look at, because I was on a Zoom call with my friends last night for Christmas Eve, and one of them asked me about NEO, which is a competitor to Tesla. And I'm like, holy shit, what a beautiful MRI top on a weekly. And then we were also talking on Zoom and about Zoom. And I'm like, wow, what a beautiful MRI top on Zoom back at $600. And now we're down to $375, and it's getting worse. Not to mention that a few days after the weekly MRI top, you can see the weekly right there. And then like the following week, you had a daily MRI top and a daily extension C ending, and down goes Zoom. And I think Zoom is about to puke out a lung. So what we're going to look at, oh, the Nigerian currency, Nigeria. USD versus the Nigerian Naira. Let's take a look. Or the Nigerian Naira versus USD. Okay, now I'm not a currency trader. So I think it's USD versus NGN is the leading pair. Oh, that's not doing very well. Still better than anything here. Watch tomorrow's headline. Tone recommends buying the Nigerian currency. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. No, there's got to be a better chart.
Yeah, Nigeria is going to fly you out now and freaking treat you like a king.
Please, I'll go. If there's no COVID test and your restaurants are open, I'm happy to for someone to fly me out to Nigeria. I'll take it. USD.
Well, the Prince of Nigeria has been looking for people for a long time, right?
Really, the only like.
Been, you know, it was the Nigerian Prince scam. I thought you'd get that one.
Is this really their currency? I'm not very familiar with Nigerian currency, but let's see. Weekly chart. Weekly is better. So this is US dollars in Nigerian currency. So how much of the Nigerian currency you need to buy a US dollar? And it's not trending very well. They hit a hyperinflation phase in 2016. That is hyperinflation. 176% in a matter of a month. That is hyperinflation land. They've been fairly stable. And in 2020, they've actually appreciated. So they hit an MRI weekly top. And the Nigerian currency, let's see how they've done. Oh, damn it, 2020 started back there. Shoot. So they did lose money in 2020. But since March of 2020, the Nigerian currency is up 3% on the US dollar. So, the Nigerian currency has outperformed the US dollar since March, which is better than Bcash did, right? Because if you go to Bcash and if we do Bcash USD, let's see. Oh, I'm typing in Bcash. That's funny. BCH USD. Let's go to March. Boom, right there. So as you can see, BCH since March has not done as well as the Nigerian currency. Here's March. And it is down 23% against the US dollar. So since COVID, the Nigerian currency has been a better investment. Oh, that's April. Damn it, not March. Shoot. April 20th. I think Bcash might have beaten it. Give it some time. April 20th. Right there. Let me see. Let's go to weekly chart. That's May, April. There. All right. So I stand corrected. So Bcash has made money since April. So Nigerian currency has not yet beaten Bcash in terms of their dollars. But don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. And I have more confidence in the Nigerian currency than I do in anything on this list, starting with number 2 and on down. And this may seem like a crazy statement, but it's not. It's not. If I had a choice of where to put my money for the next decade, I would always, maybe not decade, but for the next decade, I'd probably have more confidence in Nigerian currency than I would in any of these shitcoins. That's how strongly I feel about this garbage, guys. I can't stress this enough. I really can't stress it enough. And by the way, me choosing Nigeria is not random. I'm purposely choosing Nigeria because they're at the top of the leader list. Now, this is percentage based. Obviously, there's way more Americans Googling for Bitcoin than Nigerians, I believe. I'm not sure how Nigeria is ranking so high, but Nigeria has been ranking high for a while now. So if, like I said earlier, if all the Bitcoin is being bought up by Nigerians, I would be very, very confident in the economy of Nigeria doing well over the next decade. Nigeria #1 for Bitcoin adoption. Is this a good thing? It doesn't matter. Of course it's a good thing, actually. What am I saying? Any country that's adopting Bitcoin is a good thing. Of course it is. Yeah, Merry Christmas. We're still at like 800 viewers, guys. There's some good basketball games on tonight. Maybe I'll watch basketball today. I gotta read some tabs. There's like a million tabs open. Let me see who's playing tonight. Also, how's our trade going? How's our short trade going? Not very well.
Funky.
No, but that's okay. It's going up slowly. It can roll over.
It's just channeling right now. I think it's
I'm staying with my stop loss. Oh, New Orleans Pelicans are playing the Heat. Is Zion playing? I've never seen Zion play. I saw him play in college. Never seen him play in the pros. Yeah, maybe I'll watch a little basketball. What channel's the game on? ESPN. Perfect. Wow, look, we took a dip in viewers. I think this is where I said I was going to get off the stream, but I didn't get off the stream. So I got to be careful as to what I say. People are asking, why don't you like Litecoin? Just Google Vays scam Litecoin. There's a whole video about it. I explain it. It was part of my crypto scam series back in the day. Oh, there's football today too. Shoot, who's playing football today? Oh, Minnesota against the Saints. Okay, that's not a bad game. I like Delvin Cook. He went to my university. Can I please bring Adam back on my show? You mean Adam back? I'll try. I'll try to bring everyone for the birthday show, the Bitcoin birthday show. I think I'm on screen share, but here's my birthday cup. Yeah, Bitcoin's still creeping up. I still like my stop loss here. I'm gonna leave it. We're gonna see what happens. I want Bitcoin to rise.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand like scalping. They say like, "Oh, you went short. Why are you bearish in a bull market?" It's like, no, I'm just bearish for 5 minutes. Like, you know.
Tone, which exchange do you use? Interactive Brokers. I trade GBTC. I don't trade crypto, guys. There are, I've made that clear many times. There's a reason for that. What wallet do you recommend? I can't recommend the wallet because if something happens, like a leaked database from that wallet, I'm going to get blamed. I can tell you which wallets I like. I think Trezor is very user-friendly, and I think Cold Card has the best security. Those are just my non-professional opinions. If you have a cell phone, I believe that Samurai and Blockstream Green are wallets that I like. Well, I shouldn't have to believe in what I like, but Blockstream Green and Samurai are wallets that I like. And I am friends with Paul Pui, who has the Edge wallet, which is a very user-friendly wallet. That's the wallet designed for grandma. Unfortunately, they added shitcoins. Can you glance at T? What's T? Is T AT&T? I think T is AT&T. Let me go back to B Trash. No, it's the Nigerian currency. We're going to look at T here. That's AT&T. Michael Turpin is still suing them for like $100 billion. Yeah, look at that. So T on a weekly scale had a beautiful MRI buy, marked the low, absolutely awesome, back in October. On a daily scale, it topped right there with the MRI, and now it's a buy. So I would be considering, I mean, I wouldn't buy anything right now. It's the holiday season, but if this wasn't the holiday season, this would be a beautiful sell right into a beautiful buy. Oh, you want to see another beautiful buy? Costco. Look at that beautiful MRI. I know it's there because a friend of mine asked about it last night because we were going through charts. Beautiful MRI buy right there on Friday or Thursday. Sorry, today's Friday. Casey, thank you for your generous donation with Super Chat. Tone, all technical analysis aside, one thing keeping me up at night is how much do institutions have to buy up before the retail market is dried up? That's not how Bitcoin works, though. Wouldn't that be a way to kill Bitcoin, or am I looking at this the wrong way? No, you are. You're slightly looking at it the wrong way, Casey, because retail can buy anytime. It's like saying that institutions or Elon Musk is holding half the Tesla stock. He's not preventing retail from buying Tesla stock. So, institutions can buy it up. You just got to buy it. Look, if you held Bitcoin before Michael Saylor discovered Bitcoin, remember in 2013, Michael Saylor was talking shit about Bitcoin. And then he started buying it this year. So all you had to do was get in before. Michael Saylor is one company in the S&P 500, or at least I hope he's in the S&P 500. There's 500 other companies there. You need to be in Bitcoin before they are. Do you know BISC? Not really. Are they publicly traded?
No, BISC network. I think it's like a decentralized exchange type thing.
No, I'm not familiar with it. A decentralized exchange probably won't succeed. It's some of these things are hard to explain. So when it comes to a first of all, I don't believe you can build a decentralized exchange. I believe that some core developers on Bitcoin can build you atomic swaps that would automatically, instantly transfer one shitcoin for another. But the problem with that is that because my position is that all these things are useless, by the time a decentralized exchange actually gets built that is popular, let's say 5 to 10 years from now, people will be smarter to realize none of this garbage makes any sense. So there will be nothing to use the decentralized exchange for. You have Bitcoin that is decentralized. And maybe one day, Apple stock will tokenize on top of the Bitcoin network like the Color Coins project intended to do back in 2013 or 12 even. But at that point, owning Apple stock, I doubt will be a decentralized thing. Now, if you Color Coin Apple stock on top of the Bitcoin network, you can say that you're owning Apple stock in a decentralized way because it's tied to a Satoshi. Imagine imagine taking one Bitcoin. We can go to Tesla stock. Let's use Tesla stock. Imagine taking one Bitcoin, subdividing that one Bitcoin into 100 million pieces, and assigning a Tesla share to every single Satoshi. Now, the value of the Satoshi is meaningless compared to the value of a share of Tesla. So one share of Tesla belongs to one Satoshi. And whoever owns that Satoshi owns that share of Tesla. And now we can talk about owning shares of Tesla in a decentralized way. And now if you want to exchange your shares of Tesla for shares of Apple stock, you can do it with a smart contract in a decentralized way through an atomic swap. But a decentralized exchange now is an exchange between shitcoins. And all of these shitcoins are going away. Okay? And at the end of the day, people will not trust a decentralized exchange because if something goes wrong, there is no one to be held accountable. And also, who is incentivized to do bug fixes on a decentralized exchange? Someone has to get paid for that. And if you have to get paid, we're going back to the Howey test. If you're getting paid to fix things, you could be the centralized entity breaking the rules of the Howey test. Elon, thank you so much for your very generous super chat of $50. Appreciate it. Thank you for all you do. You have a huge following in Israel, waiting for you to come visit. Yes, I should visit Israel one of these days. I've not been to Israel. I hear great things about Tel Aviv, but I have a feeling you guys are going to go vaccine crazy, and it will be very difficult for me to go there.
Tone, I should probably be heading out about now, but just wanted to say goodbye and thanks for having me on.
All right, let's say goodbye to Joe Saz. Any closing thoughts, Joe?
No, we had some good shitcoin talk. It's I'm just excited. I hope that I initially thought that Bitcoin needed to go down in order for shitcoins to die. Maybe it goes up and shitcoins die and regulatory hammer swings. So I'm excited. This is a good time. Careful trading. Best wishes to you all, and look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, one last thing before you go. If I look at Ugly tweeted out, he tagged our late friend Tyler Jenks in his tweet, and he goes, "Hey, Tyler Jenks, we are scraping the barnacles off the Bitcoin ship. Can't wait for the new adventure and see where she sails." Very unfortunate Tyler is not with us to watch the barnacles being scraped off the ship.
Yep, it's happening. Yep. He would be smiling. He's smiling right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. How's that trade going? We're getting close. See, that's my green star. This should be my cue to exit. This could also be my cue to flip to a long trade here. But this is a slow, methodical rise over the last hour. Wow, we've been on the stream for a while. I'm going to keep my stop loss. I'm okay with it. After this candle ends, I may lower it to the top of that candle if we're pulling back. I'm not confident in this trade at all, but I will wait for the candle to end. Wow, another super chat. Oh, yeah, Joe, I'll let you go.
All right. Peace,
go
man.
do some trading, man. Another super chat. Thank you, Moon Shinfuel. Okay. Moonshine Fuel. Got it. Tone kept me on the right path during the 2017 Roger Ver craziness. Yes. To that, I owe you a debt of gratitude. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you as well. Can you ask Tone his thoughts on companies converting parts of their capital to Bitcoin as mentioned by Saylor to Musk? I think it's a great idea, obviously. Nazmul, thank you for your very generous Christmas donation contribution to the Tone Vays channel. Thank you for the great content, Tone. You are welcome, sir. You are absolutely welcome. I think I got everybody's comments. We still got 800 viewers. Now, if this candle closes red, I would be lowering my stop loss to the top of that candle. And as long as we're going down, I'm going to be lowering that stop loss because I want to exit this trade, but I'm also stubborn and not giving up. But we have to, I'll wait 2.5 more minutes at least. So what do you think about the graph of GRT? I don't know GRT. GRT. T. This is the daily chart. I believe we have topped with the MRI, and this does not look very bullish right now. On a weekly scale, we're still looking okay. The hell did it do? Wow, fell a lot. Doesn't look good. Nice buy opportunity right there on a weekly. Extension C. I prefer the MRI buys, but extension C is good. Tone, thoughts on Van Neuner reply to your tweet on XML decentralization? I mean, not really. XLM is not decentralized. I mean, it's obvious. Like it's a joke. SONN. By the way, this is the kind of stuff we're going to do in our private Zooms. I'm going to have a Zoom subscription, like, you know, private videos for people to ask these kinds of questions. I mean, I like this candle. I like the MRI buy, just like I would have liked the MRI sell. This is not as good of an MRI buy. It's consolidating, and it's but this one is also kind of consolidating, but I like this candle better. I would wait till Monday. I think if this thing starts trading above $2 and say 37 cents or wherever that is, that could be an opportunity for a little bit of a pop. But this is a penny stock. You know, this is we're talking shitcoin land here. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, wait, I promised 2 minutes for Bitcoin chart. There. All right, so we got 6 seconds. And I am lowering my stop loss to the top of that candle. So if we break that high, I'm out of my trade. But as long as we keep going down, I'm staying with my trade. Normally, a green star tells me I'm bullish. That's why I took the long trade here, and I got out of that trade without losing any money. But this green star is happening after a big run-up, and I don't like it. So I am going to set, and I'm going to be lowering the stop loss because I do want to get out of this trade with the least amount of losses. But if we start going down right here, I have no problem holding it into the green because it's the short trade. What are the decentralized crypto we have now? Well, I wrote an article about this. By the way, check out the, we have a store. I always forget about my store. We do have a store. Got to add more items. Always got to add more items. There's not that much there, but there is cool stuff there. Check out the store. Check out the Learn Trading section. And check out the blog. I probably need to write a few things. I hate writing. I'm terrible at it. Read my article. Read my article. What is crypto decentralization? And at the end of that article, I explain, I go through the shitcoins. You know, Ethereum, is it decentralized? Based on my article. Ripple, Bcash, Bitcoin SV, Litecoin, Monero, other proof of work coins, Ethereum competitors. They're all there. ICOs, you know, they're all there. Guys, I can't recommend when you buy and sell Bitcoin. If you have a long-term time horizon, you should have bought Bitcoin yesterday. That's always been my statement. Always. Okay, so we are going down. And if this candle ends pretty far down, I will lower that stop loss one more time. And I will keep doing that until we're in the green. I'm not happy with the trade anymore, but I can be very happy with the trade if we go below the red line, which was my entry. It was the worst entry ever for a 10-minute trade, but that doesn't mean that my trade still can't be profitable, but I have very well-defined risk. Very well-defined risk. The most important part of your trading journey is going to be this video, risk and position management. I recommend getting both of these together for a discount, but that is probably the most important video. Oh, I'm probably going to teach an option course in Q1 of next year. Those that were interested in learning options, I only teach this twice a year. I taught this in, I think I taught it back in like January, then I taught it in April. I think I taught them fairly close to each other last year, or this summer in June or July or something. But maybe I only taught this once this year. I think I only taught it in April. But I'll teach this in January or February, and then I'll probably teach it again at the end of 2021. So you get 2 chances for this live course. All right, guys. I think it's time to call it a day. Thank you all very much for watching, and enjoy Christmas. Happy holidays. Bitcoin blessed us today with a new all-time high. We're holding 24,000. I would love to see a $27,000 open. Why am I not in focus? I would love to see a $27,000 open on Monday when GBTC is set for trading. But until then, enjoy the holidays. Enjoy your family. Try not to get scared over COVID. If you're in good health, you will be, well, you should be okay, even if you catch it. And try to support your local businesses that are trying to feed their families as well. Please go and support them. I'm a believer that if you have a restaurant in your area, go and support them. I plan to. All right, guys. Talk to you all on the next one.